Welcome to the This Week in Astrology video forecast. This is episode number 72 for the first half of July 2016. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Benjamin Bernstein of astroshaman.com, coming to you from Asheville, North Carolina. I'm an astrologer, awakening activator, and shamanic healer, and it's my pleasure to bring you these semi-monthly astrology forecasts. What is new for the first half of July? Well, we've got 13 aspect patterns. Wow, more than I've ever seen in a single forecast for a half-month period. These provide a plethora of nuanced interpretations. We've also got a Cancer new moon, Uranus and Chiron aspecting Vesta, 20 events involving Venus, Mercury, and Sun, and more. I apologize, I am posting this a few days late, but the early events of the month are still valid, as you'll hear. Just because it started on a certain day, it often lasts quite a little while. So I'm doing the best I can. Thanks for bearing with me. What's old as we come into the first half of July? We've got a waning moon. We've got a T-square with Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune that actually just wrapped up on July 1st. And some other patterns that have actually wrapped up a couple of days ago as I record this on July 5th, so I won't even talk about those. What continues in terms of retrograde planets, we still have retrogrades for Saturn, Pluto, and Neptune. So now let's move on to our individual days of the forecast. On Friday, July 1st, you have a fantastic opportunity to heal relationship wounds under a Venus-Mars-Chiron grand trine. It started on July 1st, peaks on July 7th, and ends on July 14th. Plenty of time to work with that one. This flowing aspect pattern can ease this healing process, but requires you to apply your effort to unlock its full potential. You can also use this Venus-Mars-Chiron grand trine to smooth the way for creative mentoring and sexual healing. Dysfunctional family dynamics can be healed under this energy if everyone is willing to work openly and honestly with their entrenched negative patterns. We're now on Saturday, July 2nd. I edited a couple of events that were in my written forecast because they have expired by the time I record this. So I won't be giving you any information that isn't still relevant as of July 5th. So here on Saturday, July 2nd, a Finger of God Yod featuring Mars, Vesta, and Uranus fired up on July 2nd, peaks on July 12th, and ends on July 26th. You can play with this aspect pattern in ways that are more general or explicitly sexual. A more generalized interpretation for this yod is to take passionate, transformative action to bring life-affirming revolution to the world. How much of the world you bring positive change to is your call. This should be done not for personal gain or power, but in service to a higher cause that benefits everybody affected by your actions. The sexual interpretation jumps out because each corner of the yod contains potentially erotic archetypal energy. Mars is in Scorpio, both of which carry this force. Uranus is in Aries, the sign of animal passion. And Vesta has associations with sexual healing and sex magic. For starters, this yod can help you in your own sexual healing. Uranus represents breakthrough. Vesta represents the ongoing lineage of sexual healers, sometimes called tantrikas or dakinis, who help their clients bring their repressed or wounded sexuality into greater wholeness and harmony. Sexual surrogates, as portrayed in the heartwarming film The Sessions, perform a similar role in more mainstream society. And Scorpionic Mars can represent a healthy, vibrant, passionate sexuality. This can add juiciness and joy to everything in your life, even things unrelated to sex. If you're far enough along on your own sexual healing path, you can assist others with theirs. Or, as Vesta suggests, you can use sex magic to focus the power of your orgasms to empower positive change in the world. The energy of anything you visualize at the moment of climax radiates out to the universe with tremendous power. Consciously channeling this amplified sexual power for the benefit of others can do a world of good, and it's also a lot of fun. On Sunday, July 3rd, many wonderful opportunities are presented by the Sun, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto lunar nodes mystic rectangle. It started on July 3rd, it peaks on July 6th, it ends on July 9th. These possibilities include personal transformation and healing, deepening your spiritual awareness, empowering joy, amplified creativity, supercharged inspiration, increased abundance, ideas for its creation or its actual manifestation. That's referring to the supercharged abundance there. Pick as many as you like. The more focus and effort you put into any one of these areas, the more they resonate with your life purpose, the greater the potential rewards. Also on Sunday, July 3rd, on its own, a Sun-Neptune trine, which is still going here as of July 5th. That would be the Sun at 12 Cancer and Neptune at 12 Pisces, can make it easier for you to feel the nurturing, unconditional love of your own divine consciousness. This aspect is also part of that mystic rectangle with the Sun, Jupiter, Neptune, and Pluto that starts today. On Monday, July 4th, July's new moon took place at 7:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The moon was at 12 degrees 53 minutes Cancer. Any Cancer new moon empowers new beginnings in the areas of home, family, security, nurturing, and diet. In terms of aspects, this new moon participates in that mystic rectangle with the Sun, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, and the lunar nodes I've already described. This lunation is also conjunct Cancerian Mercury and Venus. This can amp up the healing and nurturing power of your communication, relating, and creative expression. Saturn is quincunx the new moon. If your vitality feels compromised, what adjustments might rekindle your energy? Hint, are you willing to feel all of your emotions, even the bad ones? The new moon Sabian symbol is a hand, which is held out receptively. It's remarkable for the suggestion of character in the prominent thumb. As Linda Hill points out in her excellent Sabian symbol book, 360 Degrees of Wisdom, the prominent thumb indicates strong willpower. The receptive hand also appears ready to receive a handshake. This is a beautiful symbol of partnering with others while staying true to oneself. The allusions to character and willpower imply a strongly individuated person. They know who they are and what they're here to do. Adding in the extended hand and receptivity imply harmonious cooperation while maintaining full integrity. Partnership cannot thrive when one of the parties compromises things that they truly need for their survival, vitality, and happiness. If you're in such a partnership, consider if it can be harmonized or if it would be best to end it. Sometimes the universe tests you to see if you're willing to settle for less than you deserve. Once you can overcome the fear of releasing the devil you know, much better possibilities can open up. My own experience has been that it always gets better than this. Also on Monday, July 4th, is your thinking feeling a bit kludgy, or is someone trying to stop you from expressing yourself? These things sometimes happen with Mercury quincunx Saturn, Mercury 11 Cancer, Saturn 11 Sagittarius. With Mercury in Cancer, check to see if what you're thinking about or trying to accomplish is in resonance with your true heart's desire. If not, can you align it so it is? Tuesday, July 5th, the themes of the Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, lunar nodes mystic rectangle, which starts today, peaks tomorrow, and ends on July 9th, are pretty much the same as the Sun, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, lunar nodes mystic rectangle that started on July 3rd. The two aspect patterns even peak and end on the same days. So what's different? The mystic rectangle with the Sun is more about embodying and shining forth these qualities energetically. Mercury's configuration is more likely to think about them and communicate them through the five senses. Once again, the shared themes of these two mystic rectangles are personal transformation and healing, deepening your spiritual awareness, empowering joy, amplified creativity, supercharged inspiration, and increased abundance, ideas for its creation or its actual manifestation. Also, on Tuesday, July 5th, on its own, today's Mercury-Neptune trine, Mercury 8 Cancer, Neptune 8 Pisces, makes it easier for your thoughts and expression to be guided by your intuitive flow. It's also part of that Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, lunar nodes mystic rectangle that started today. On Wednesday, July 6th, two mystic rectangles peak today. The Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto lunar nodes, and then the other one with Mercury instead. And they both end on July 9th. Also on Wednesday, July 6th, most of the possibilities of a Venus-Mars trine, Venus 23 Cancer, Mars 23 Scorpio, are covered in my interpretation of the Venus-Mars-Chiron Grand Trine that I talked about on July 1st when it started. In addition, this aspect helps smooth the way for creative expression. Also, Wednesday, July 6th, a Sun-Mercury conjunction, both planets around 15 Cancer, strongly amplifies your ability to think and communicate. With both planets in Cancer, you can bring heartfelt sincerity to your words and powerfully engage people's emotions. On Thursday, July 7th, two challenging aspect patterns featuring Venus and Juno begin today. A Venus-Juno-Uranus T-square will peak on July 9th and end on July 12th, and a Venus-Juno Ceres T-square will last a bit longer, peaking on July 11th and ending on July 15th. Let's start with the Venus-Juno-Uranus T-square. The square between Cancerian Venus and Scorpionic Juno will seek to uncover any disharmony between your role as the soft, gentle nurturer and the passionate, shamanic love goddess in committed partnership. I'm obviously tailoring this interpretation to women, but it can apply to the feminine side of men as well. Can you fully access both of these archetypes within yourself? If not, Uranus can help you break through into a more comfortable embodiment of these parts of yourself. You need not be restricted to a single role. The more conscious you become, the more you can seamlessly shapeshift, embodying different energies as appropriate. Now, with the Venus-Juno Ceres T-square, a third feminine archetype comes into play, Ceres. The grain goddess suffered profoundly after her daughter Persephone was raped by Pluto and abducted into the underworld to be his queen rather. Eventually, it was agreed that Persephone would split her time between the upper and lower worlds. So, Ceres can represent mother-daughter relationships as well as the theme of release and return. Watch to see if these themes interact with the energies of Venus and Juno described above in your life. Ceres is also the goddess of the harvest and can contribute themes of abundance. Her placement in Aries asks if you're being assertive enough in calling in the abundance you deserve. The Juno-Ceres themes will continue being stimulated through the end of the month thanks to two more T-squares. We've got Mercury-Juno-Ceres T-square starting on July 11th, peaking July 13th, ending July 16th, and we've got a Sun-Juno-Ceres T-square starts July 15th, peaks July 23rd, ends July 31st. I am not going to interpret these T-squares separately. We already have a superabundance of aspect patterns in this forecast, but their meaning will be similar to what I've just been describing, and as I showed you, they pretty much run through the whole month. Also, on Thursday, July 7th, a flowing grand trine that connects Cancerian Mercury, Scorpionic Mars, and Piscean Chiron begins today on July 7th, peaks on July 11th, and ends on July 14th. Some of its possible expressions include nurturing mentoring in areas such as leadership, sexuality, assertiveness, and warriorship, transformative healing in the same areas, offering heart-centered teachings in these areas or learning more about them, opening your mind to new levels of reality in the fires of shamanic transformation. Also, Thursday, July 7th, the Venus-Mars-Chiron Grand Trine that started on July 1st peaks today, July 7th, and it wraps on July 14th. Also, Thursday, July 7th, a lot going on today, two intense aspects, a Mercury-Pluto opposition, Mercury 16 Cancer, Pluto 16 Capricorn, and a Sun-Pluto opposition, Sun 16 Cancer, Pluto 16 Capricorn, fire up today. On their own, they can catalyze helpful transformations in your thinking and identity. They're best understood in the context of the mystic rectangle aspect patterns they help form. Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto lunar nodes, and Sun, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto lunar nodes. Can you believe we've still got more on Thursday, July 7th? Unto itself, a Venus-Uranus square. Venus, 24 Cancer, Uranus, 24 Aries, can give your relationships, creativity, and finances a quantum leap to the next level. The area of life being taken to the next level often experiences significant challenge. This is often necessary to break you free from your attachment to the current status quo. If it was still comfortable, why would you bother to change? On Friday, July 8th, Mars and Chiron have already formed grand trines with Venus and Mercury this month. Now it's the Sun's turn to hold down the third corner. This Sun-Mars-Chiron grand trine has a great deal in common with the Mercury-Mars-Chiron grand trine. Since Chiron is the mentor, it can easily take on Mercury's teaching functions in these interpretations. So the list of possibilities is almost the same. Nurturing mentoring in areas such as leadership, sexuality, assertiveness, and warriorship. Transformative healing in the same areas, offering heart-centered teachings. Opening your entire being to new levels of reality in the fires of shamanic transformation. Also, on Friday, July 8th, I discussed the relational opportunities of today's Venus-Chiron trine, Venus 25 Cancer, Chiron 25 Pisces, when I talked about on July 1st that Venus-Mars-Chiron grand trine. Easier healing and mentoring is also available for your creativity and finances. Also, on Friday, July 8th, you can enjoy enhanced mental acuity and verbal virtuosity with Mercury sextile Jupiter, Mercury 18 Cancer, Jupiter 18 Virgo. With Mercury in Cancer, your words can connect more easily with the hearts of your audience. On Saturday, July 9th, the Venus-Juno-Uranus T-square that began on July 7th peaks today and wraps up on July 12th. On Sunday, July 10th, on its own, a Sun-Jupiter sextile, Sun 18 Cancer, Jupiter 18 Virgo, can amplify your vitality and extroversion. It's also part of the mystic rectangle featuring the Sun that wrapped up yesterday that I've already talked about. Also, on Sunday, July 10th, to understand today's Mercury-Mars trine, Mercury 24 Cancer, Mars 24 Scorpio, in context, you might want to go back to my July 7th interpretation of the Mercury-Mars Chiron grand trine. On Monday, July 11th, let me just throw in here, I realize it's a unusually complex interpretation. I'm doing a lot of referring back to other things, and I apologize if it's starting to get a little confusing about now. So if watching this video you're losing track of what did I say before, it may help you to go to astroshaman.com and look at the written forecasts as well. And when I refer back to one, maybe scan back and read it as opposed to trying to like rewind the video and go back to that, which is a little clunky. So I apologize, again, with 13 aspect patterns in this half of the month. It's been impossible for me to avoid the referencing back because I don't want to keep repeating the same interpretations over and over again when things peak. So I apologize for the unusual complexity of this forecast. So here we are now on Monday, July 11th. The Venus-Juno series grand trine that started on July 7th peaks today and ends on July 15th. Also here on Monday, July 11th, the Mercury-Mars Chiron grand trine that started on July 7th peaks today. Again, it's July 11th and ends on July 14th. And also on Monday, July 11th, Mercury makes two aspects today, a Mercury-Uranus square, Mercury 24 Cancer, Uranus 24 Aries, can energize your intuitive flashes and stimulate you to think outside the box. A Mercury-Chiron trine, Mercury 25 Cancer, Chiron 25 Pisces, is part of the Mercury-Mars Chiron grand trine that peaks today. On Tuesday, July 12th, the Mars-Vesta-Uranus Yod that began on July 2nd peaks today, here on July 12th, and ends on July 26th. Also here on Tuesday, July 12th, today's Uranus-Vesta sextile, Uranus 24 Aries, Vesta 24 Gemini, is part of the Yod with Mars, Vesta, and Uranus that peaks today. And on Tuesday, July 12th, Venus transits Leo today through August 5th. This is a placement of sparkles, sequins, and fireworks, so get your glam on. This placement is also great for strutting in the spotlight and making grand romantic gestures. On Wednesday, July 13th, Mercury follows Venus into Leo today. The winged messenger will transit the sign of the Lion through July 30th. This placement supports creative writing and confident, entertaining public speaking, as well as getting your message out into the spotlight. On Thursday, July 14th, challenging possibilities of a Mars-Uranus quincunx, that's Mars at 24 Scorpio, Uranus at 24 Aries, include accidents, flaring tempers, and impulsive, ill-advised sexual encounters. Whoa! Adjust this aspect to the high side by taking immediate action on your intuitive flashes. Keep Mars busy in life-affirming activities such as exercise, appropriate sexual connection, leadership, and striving for a worthy cause. Friday, July 15th, no major astrological events. Finally, a day off. On my next video forecast, we will cover the following. But first, I want to give you my announcements real quickly. Information on everything that follows is on the home page of astroshaman.com. I'm going to do group shamanic astrology and channeling from the Ascended Master Realm with the Friday morning meditation and discussion group on Friday, July 22nd, 10 a.m. to noon at Crystal Visions near Asheville, North Carolina. Free admission, donations appreciated. For the shamanic astrology part, we'll look at the most important current astrological influences, and then we'll invoke the consciousness of those planets and ask them to express more harmoniously in our lives. I'll also channel from the Ascended Master Realm in response to audience questions. You can ask anything you want. This presentation takes me in new directions, and I'm very excited to be doing it. Hope you can come. Also, I'll lead a special shamanic awakening ceremony in the Greenville, South Carolina area on Tuesday, August 2nd, 6:30 to 9 p.m. for the Easley Mediumship and Spiritual Insight Meetup. I did a similar ceremony last year, and they've asked me to do it again. Admission is by love offering. The ceremony will take place at a private home in Easley, South Carolina, 20 minutes west of downtown Greenville, South Carolina. RSVP early to reserve your spot because it may fill up. Finally, EASE, the Embodied Awakening Support Experience, is weekly events I offer via phone or web to help you enjoy more harmony, grace, and flow in your life, eliminate suffering, increase your intuition and synchronicity, stop mental chatter and challenging emotions, live each day in a peaceful awakened state, enjoy support from kindred spirits on your journey, and much more. It also features an online recording library that lets you experience the life-transforming power of EASE anytime. Based on the feedback I get, the recordings are just as powerful as the live events, and there's over 40 of them at this point. What's new for the second half of July that we'll be covering on the next forecast, we're going to have a full moon in Capricorn, a grand trine with the Sun, Mars, and Chiron coming to its climax. The Sun enters Leo, Uranus turns retrograde, a Mars-Chiron trine, and a number of events involving the Sun, Mercury, and Venus. So there's a lot going on, definitely worth tuning in for. Thank God it's not as crazy as the first half of July in terms of just number and complexity of events. So tune in then if you can. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my Benjamin Bernstein YouTube channel to be notified when I post new videos. And if you like this video, please share it. This free video forecast is a partner project with iTunes #1 astrology audio podcast, This Week in Astrology. That's also free. You can get my semi-monthly astrology forecast in writing by subscribing to my free email newsletter at astroshaman.com. Once you're there, you can also link to my Facebook page where I post daily forecasts. My personal services include astrology, shamanic healing, and awakening activation. All are equally effective in person or long distance. My guarantee makes my services risk-free. If you don't feel that your experience was helpful, there's no charge. I also offer other great products and services, many of which are free. To learn more, visit astroshaman.com. Thanks again for watching. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your way.